Hello, I want to give you a little bit of advice on what to do with these crossover points. I've provided them already. Each one of these crossover points represents the point at which, the volume at which the two alternatives have equal total cost. And that's how you solved for this in the first place. Now, I'm always going to start with the lowest fixed cost alternative. If you see on the chart over here, that is, I'm always going to be choosing this first, the low fixed cost alternative. So that's alternative C. And I look at the crossover points that include C. So you have A, C, B, C, and C, D. And I look for the smallest number. The first time when some alternative beats out alternative C. So A beats it out at 173,000, B beats it out at 150,000, and D doesn't beat it out until 275,000. So it loses out to B at 150,000. So I'm going to choose, that tells me that I'm going to recommend C from 0 to 150,000, and I'm going to choose B from 150,000 to something. Okay, now so let's. I'm just gonna sort of remove some of these. So I'll actually just turn this into a clear text, and it'll disappear from a chart. It's still there. I'm just blanking it out with a clear text. And so now that was, let's go ahead and highlight this one because we chose this one. So let's highlight that. And now I've switched from C to B. And so now I'm going to look at where does B get beat out by something else. And it gets beat out by A at 180,000. Doesn't get beat out by D until 400,000, so that's not a factor, so we'll remove that one. Just turn it blank. And A comes in here. And so that means that we're going to recommend B up to 180,000. So from 150,000 to 180,000 inclusive. And who beat it out? Well, A did. That's where A crossed over B. So we know we're selecting A. If I can get my shift there. A from 180,000 to infinity. Why not 400,000? Say, because you got this. Well, no, why not 85,000? Here's the only thing left is 85,000. Well, that's actually where. If you look at back here at 85,000, that's where alternative A actually beat alternative D, and so from that point on, D was eliminated, and that's why we never choose D. And so that crossover happens in a way that it's irrelevant. Do you see that? Here's this crossover up here, but it's not the lowest cost at that alternative. So it's essentially irrelevant. So we've got three alternatives dealt with. We started with C because it was the low fixed cost alternative. We crossed over at B at 150,000. And then we're with B, and B lost out to A at 180,000. Do you see it here? So for C, we're good up to 150,000, and then we crossed over to that orange. That's B. We crossed over to B from 150,000 up to 180,000, and then we're crossing over to A from then on. So that's another way to look at how do we make the decisions in the crossover points. You could make them totally with these crossover calculations, but having the combination of the calculations and the chart is helpful.